Right, some key news from this week. I want to get into a large debate because there's something that you brought to my attention this week, and we spoke about early access and we spoke about sort of crowdfunding towards the beginning of this podcast.
Yep.
And one of the things that we've touched on previously is the big debate around early access. Is it consumer friendly? What do we do with sort of companies that don't necessarily fulfill on their promises? How can we refine and make it better? And there's a company out there called EarlyNinja who think they have the answer. But yeah, take us through this.
Oh God. Okay. So, EarlyNinja started off their Kickstarter to help start a company that is going to try and solve the early access problem.
The conundrum.
And the way that the conundrum, because like Matt said, it's not perfect. There are flaws, and a lot of that is to do with meeting milestones and getting things out on time. We've seen it with a lot of games that end up in development hell or get feature creep that takes over and everything else. And they've decided to create a company that basically acts as a way to ensure that, it's really for consumers. It's for the people. It ensures that they get the game that they paid for on time. That's the basic gist of EarlyNinja. And essentially, the way that they've done it is that developers will sign up to do their crowdfunding, I think through them. And how it will work is that there will be milestones set, and the developers have to reach those milestones, and when they do, they get the next chunk of money from their crowdfunded fund towards paying to do the next bit. And for this service, they have to give a fee of 15% to EarlyNinja. That's the basic premise of it. Now, there was some opposition to this. Now, the thing is, I knew about EarlyNinja for quite a while. I've known it for about a year or so because of a PR company that regularly sent me stuff. Said, oh, yes, there's this EarlyNinja thing that we're representing and we want you to take a look. And I purposely stayed away because I didn't see how it would work. Before they even said about the 15% thing, I was kind of looking at it and going, well, because one of the things is if they don't match the milestones, if they don't hit those milestones, people will get their money refunded. That's one of the things for EarlyNinja. So yes, if they don't hit the milestones, if it doesn't look like the game's going to get done, the developer gets nothing and everybody gets their money refunded. And I was looking at this and I was thinking, well, if the money is going to be there to be refunded in case it doesn't work out, then how the hell are they going to have money to pay the developer to make the game? Like, surely it's got to go one way or the other. You can't do both. So I was thinking, there's something iffy about this. Then, of course, they said, oh, yes, we take 15% of the crowdfunded total to help pay for this milestone-based system. And, of course, when this was announced at the start of their Kickstarter, people were chiming in, including one Mike Bithell, who you may know, who has his game about rectangles on every single device known to man. And he basically pointed out a bunch of flaws. He didn't want to necessarily say that, that you people are ripping off developers who are, what's the word I'm looking for? They're not trying to dupe people into giving them money. They're essentially just, it's just they're overestimating or underestimating what it is they're trying to achieve with EarlyNinja. And he was making a point of the fact that 15% is not a good deal for what they're offering. The fact that essentially they haven't really thought it through in terms of, as well as the fact that they were quoting YouTubers on quotes that they'd said years prior about the fact that early access had its issues, and kind of making it seem like endorsements, like not necessarily saying they are, but it's kind of like a thing of saying, oh yes, people like Angry Joe and Total Biscuit are endorsing our idea when they haven't. Anyway, this all blew up when Mike Bithell posted his response, and they posted a response, EarlyNinja did, and, well, I think the right word is that they kind of overreacted a bit and used the term witch hunt. and basically played the victim card and got super defensive, and it essentially meant that they were showing off that they were not ready for this.
Yeah.
They hadn't thought it through. And if this is how they're going to respond to criticism before the companies even began, how are they going to handle it when, developers are trying to sort out getting milestones, or something might happen, like, I don't know, a catastrophic hardware failure means that they lose all of their stuff. Like, how are they going to respond to that then? It really showed a lack of immaturity, I think, is the best way of looking at it. I mean, Matt, you've now got caught up to it. I mean, I've spoken for a very long time. I do apologise. What's your take on this now you are up to speed?
Well, this is the thing, and I thought that was a pretty good overview. This is a very complex situation with a whole bunch of things to unpack from it. And I think one of the interesting things about this is that EarlyNinja, they've said they're sort of solving or trying to sort of crowdfund a platform to, quote unquote, fix early access. And they've done it by essentially asking people to pay for them to become a publisher. And
that is exactly it.
And although they've refuted this, the fact of the matter is what they've basically suggested with their practices and this figure who'll come in, this sensei, this development sensei. That's sort of the core of what they're offering. A guy who's incredibly good at project management and communication, who is essentially a producer. That is exactly what a producer on a publisher side does. And the thing is, they're absolutely right in identifying this issue. Early access really does have issues. We've seen it. I think most high profile, I'm not going to really point to Star Citizen yet because it's the right call. They have missed a lot of goals. They've missed a lot of goals, and there's been a lot of feature creep. What I actually want to bring up is Double Fine for Spaceport DF9. Was it DF9?
Deep Space, not Deep Space Nine. That's a Star Trek thing. I know what you're talking about.
The one that basically sort of got halfway through development and then they shit canned it because they realised, no, we've project managed this all wrong. And to be fair, I love Tim Schafer. I really do. I think he's a creative genius, but he can't run a project to save his life. Oh my god! No. Broken Age was just perfect. Was a perfect example of this. Instead of being like, let's just make this the best point and click adventure game it can possibly be. No, let's spunk money up the wall. Let's do it. let's just do it. Instead of one game, we'll give you half, and then we'll give you the other half later on. And do you know what? It was
might need more money for it.
Yeah.
Actually, there's another really good example, a very recent example of actually this entire process that EarlyNinja want to go for. Poncho.
Yes.
The whole thing that happened with that, and the fact that the guy really had no project management and overestimated how much work he needed to put in and everything else, and also didn't pay attention to the contract that he signed with Rising Star Games. And that was a perfect example. He didn't hit the milestone, he didn't get the money, and then the game suffered. On top of the fact that he didn't pay attention to the small print of his own contract that he kind of designed. So, this, it's showing that there are huge issues with the problem, but EarlyNinja's solution, or suggestion to a solution, is not the right way to go about it. And as I said, they've shown that they just can't handle the pressure on a few bits of advice from someone who has the best of intentions for everyone involved. Yeah.
So the 15% thing is completely right. One of the points that Bithell made was that, EarlyNinja aren't even at the point where they have a client. It's not going to be there until, at best, Q4 2017. And even at that point, won't be as feature rich, nor will have the reach, anywhere near the reach of somewhere like GOG or Steam. Now, they're not projecting to be a store, but in terms of influence, they're not going to have anywhere near the amount of influence as basically a whole bunch of publishers that work with indies like Rising Star, like Devolver, who all have, key PR contacts. There are indie PR agencies out there that, really, really sort of help in terms of the communication side of things, if not necessarily the project management side of things. But I don't see EarlyNinja by the end of this year having anywhere near the kind of network required to do a lot of the things that they say they're going to do. And the thing is, if you're looking for a producer which is essentially what the sensei is, you're going to go with someone trusted, and you're going to go with someone who's got a history in this sort of thing, and you're going to go with someone that knows when the right time to communicate is.
Yep.
And on all of the evidence, and this is the biggest thing, on all of the evidence here, EarlyNinja have blown this. And yeah, you mentioned the YouTubers. So using quotes without permission, that is a rookie mistake. But then they asked, they did a poll on what sort of games.
I was just about to bring that up. Yeah,
and they didn't ask permission from the people whose games they were using. And it's like, what did you think would happen?
Here's a good one. Games Foundry, who do a game called Folktale.
Yep.
Their game was featured on there, and they tweeted at EarlyNinja a couple of days ago, basically saying, "Ninja, please remove Folktale from your site. We have not agreed to be on your platform." EarlyNinja responded by saying, "Thanks for reaching out. We received your request and will sort it in 1 to 2 business days."
Yeah.
Like, they clearly have no idea how to talk to clients, and they've destroyed all the possible goodwill by doing that approach before they've even begun.
I just don't understand why wouldn't you do your market research? Like, if you're projecting to be experts in the market, to be able to deliver expert advice and guidance to indie developers looking at early access as a projected route to market, and you're saying, come to us because we are experts within the market, why the hell would you not make sure that you can actually back that up and actually know who you're dealing with? And, and this is just common courtesy and common sense here. Like, if you're gonna do stuff like that, you really, really need to get permission. They weren't the only ones either. The guys from The Long Dark were just like, we've not agreed to be on your platform, nor do we have any intention to. And, oh god, their response was the kind of robotic thing that just doesn't really cut it in this case. Like, in terms of like a little customer query, yeah, maybe you can get away with that. In terms of like, you're kind of infringing on like copyright here. Like, seriously, and false endorsement, and essentially, promotion based on lies. You really, really need to get that sorted.
Yep. It's just an absolute, I think the word omnishambles would not be amiss in this particular incident. And the more you dig into it, the more you see just how flawed it is. I mean, I'm going to do this in real time, folks. This is all very exciting. If I go to their Kickstarter right now, of the £75,000 that they are asking for, they have 11,000 right now with 30 days to go.
Yeah.
I think that kind of shows just how much faith the people that will be funding their platform essentially have in the platform itself.
Yeah. And I think it's worth pointing out. So some of the quotes on this from massive YouTubers like Boogie, like TB, like Extra Credits, like Angry Joe. These are all from like, in fact, actually, the latest one they have on there is from Angry Joe, and that's from literally 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Now, Steam, I mean, early access is still not perfect. And it won't be. It will only be, early access is really only as good as kind of the games that are within the system to a certain extent. But Steam have tightened it up a lot. They've improved the service a lot. Realizing, and the communication around it's improved as well, realizing that it is an investment of sorts and things can, and as history has shown, may well go wrong. That's when it needs to be understood when you're investing in an early access game and indeed kickstarting anything.
Yep.
And I think actually we kind of get it now.
Yeah.
I think certainly the consumer audience and that's kind of what EarlyNinja are hoping, or at least expressing that they speak for. I think by and large, PC gamers kind of get it now. The whole thing about early access, we haven't seen an enormous early access controversy I don't think, in some time. And there's still
we haven't seen a huge failure, I don't think.
No.
I'm just trying to think, other than the space game from Double Fine, we haven't seen anything that's just completely fallen through.
And I mean,
I mean,
a lot of it is, actually, a lot of it goes the other way. What we've actually found is we've seen games that go down the sort of publisher route, or, have producers and have deadlines and all that sort of stuff, come out to a fanfare. I'm not mentioning any names here, No Man's Sky, but, and then everyone goes, well, that would have been a lot better if they'd done it in early access and managed the communications a little bit better. And I think, I think EarlyNinja are almost coming in a little too late to this. Certainly a little too late in terms of the market, which again doesn't really, prove their point about being market experts, but also, far too early for actually themselves, because they haven't proven that they're up to the task at all in any way. And as we've seen from the best Kickstarters, or rather some of the most productive Kickstarters, have actually, the pitch will contain the information or everything that you need to kind of push you over the edge in terms of trust and investment. There is nothing from EarlyNinja's standpoint that suggests they have the clout or the processes or the know-how to be able to fulfill on this. And just asking the question about early access, just being able to point at early access and say, it's flawed. I'm not going to give you money based on that. We did that several years ago. What's wrong with you? No one gave us money. Please give us money. Maybe this is what we should do. Maybe we should do an EarlyNinja, but better. What we'll do, we'll send
EarlyNinja.
Yeah, the early bird catches the early bird catches the early ninja. Actually, hang on, no. What fights ninjas? Pirates. Early pirate. Oh god.
No, earlier pirate.
Earlier pirate, yeah. And what we'll do, we'll just email a whole bunch of developers and be like, sup, do you want to be in on this? And they'll most certainly say no, and then we won't do it. Which is exactly what EarlyNinja should have done.
Actually, just one last thing, just to prove how ill thought this all is. The 12 £12 pledge, the early bird special for Adept. They're offering a game from their catalogue.
What catalogue?
Exactly. Exactly. They don't have games. This is what they should have done. They should have gone to a few small indies and gone, right, we have this system. We've got the whole thing planned out. We're wondering whether you wanted to kind of be a part of it. We will offer our assistance and everything else at a reduced rate because, of course, you're our first ones to help us build up a company that will help you and help us. That's how they should have done it. They didn't. And now we're left with this.
The problem, do you know the problem with this Kickstarter pitch is, I hadn't really looked at this.
It's a Kickstarter for a Kickstarter for a start.
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't really looked at this in a huge amount of detail, I'll be honest. But the thing is, because I had no intention of backing it.
But yeah.
All of the tiers are geared towards, gamers. So the pledge tiers are geared towards gamers. You'll get a game from our catalogue, right?
Yeah.
The entire service is built towards developers. Why the hell are all of the notes, all of the kind of pitch is geared towards developers. It's telling you how EarlyNinja works. So why the hell are they basing rewards on a completely different audience?
Yeah.
If you're pitching to developers and saying, we can help you finish your game, we can help you get it to market, why would they want a game? They're going to want their game, at market.
Yeah, I know. I think what we're trying to say is count to 10 early and just take a deep breath and then really think, should we carry on with this?
The answer is probably
that's what we're trying to get at.
Yeah. Well, the answer is actually just take this down, go back to the drawing board, and by drawing board I mean email some people that you actually want to work with. Email some people who actually know what they're doing. Email the people with the games.
Yeah.
Like,
you know, that thing you need for your service.
The things that you need for your service. And maybe, you know, ask them if this would be valuable, rather than taking 2, 3, 4-year-old quotes from YouTubers and basing an entire business model off of that when you haven't even got permission. The other thing you can do is in 2 weeks' time, watch, the amazingly produced documentary of early pirates.
Yes.
Which will show you exactly how to go about this and exactly why it will fail.
Yeah. But you know what? At the same time, I wish you the best of luck. In fact, I'm going to give you sort of like a Paul Hollywood style good luck. Knowing that it's all going to go horribly wrong. So yeah, that's from me. Good luck.
Yeah, I'm just classic Peter Jones. I'm out.
You're out.
I'm just out. There are issues with early access. Like we know there are. It's also getting better.
Because we're becoming more savvy. We've said this already. Like, you know, it's essentially we all need to smarten up a little bit. You know, early access is a gamble. It always has been, always will be. So only pledge the stuff that you want to go for, that you feel you've got a gut feeling that's going to be good, and only put in the money that you can afford to lose. If you get a game out of it, then great, absolutely great. But you are there for the ride and everything else. Much like any other gamble, you know, only put in what you can afford to lose. That is my advice for the week.
And I think that's perfect advice, because if you're gambling everything, there is the potential to lose everything.
Yep.
And that's incredibly tragic. And there are a lot of people that do bank essentially their lives on, you know, pursuing the dream. And for many, game development is a dream, and it's a worthy dream. Like, creating something is fantastic, but you have to be careful about it. And I think, to your point, everyone being more savvy is exactly what we need here. I don't think early access just as a concept is really to blame. And I don't think one company sashaying in here and saying, oh, we have senseis is going to fix that. Because at the end of the day, what is required is a very good producer. Like, producers are incredibly valuable. And sometimes they can go over the top. Sometimes, you know, with directives from publishers who have very strict deadlines, sometimes the producer will be the person that hounds it and you know, eventually actually just gets something out of the door. And it might not be very good, but, you know, something will get delivered. But on the other hand, with this, with early access, when you have time and there is flexibility, you know, they can be really useful. But again, it's all about people. It's all about know-how, and EarlyNinja have exhibited none of those things.
None of that. But yes, got an idea, right? Not necessarily early pirate, but we just say it how it is. You know, we're going to be doing a producing role. So our company is Produce This, right? And it's basically EarlyNinja, but better. We can dress as pirates if you want. And we could have a weekly YouTube show where we talk about what we're producing.
You don't want to see what I'm producing right now.
I thought it could be.
No.
Fine.
We're not finishing on that. We need something better. We need something better to finish on.